Welcome to Big Chats with Ricky West. Let's go.
Hello.
We have our first returning guest today, folks, and he goes by the name of Big LISH.
I know the folks
Welcome
miss
back.
me. It's
Welcome
good to be
back.
back.
Yes, sir, LISH. Yes, sir. You were on once. It was a phenomenal episode, and I'm very glad to have you back. I know today you wanted to really just hit on NFL today.
I feel like it's a good time. It's mid-season. Do a little check-in on everything. We got a good idea.
Yes.
Who's who, what teams where.
Correct. The AFC is starting to like formulate to see who you think could be in the playoffs, because for a long time, I mean, still it's insanely close. It's like ninth place is like 2 games out of first.
Yeah, and it's going into the season. It was supposed to be like a gauntlet with the Bengals. The Chiefs were supposed to be nuts.
Correct.
The Chargers, and it's not that type of gauntlet anymore. Oh, the Jets. Can't forget the Jets with Rodgers.
Yeah, there's
But
no
somehow
true standout.
it's a different type of gauntlet now. Like the top tier teams aren't like too far and away, but there are a lot of like sleeper teams like the Browns and the Steelers that are kind of just making some noise this year.
T.
Date.
Ticket T. Hey, yeah, no, that's actually very true. The Ravens have made a lot of noise unexpectedly. I mean, but the Ravens are always a team that you never know how they're gonna do. They're a team that everyone says, "Oh, this team's good,"
Yeah,
but you really just never
They-
know how they're gonna do.
I feel like this is the best the Ravens have been and the best Lamar has been playing in a few years.
Long time, yeah,
And
yeah.
last time that happened, like he's only had a couple at bats in the playoffs. I think he's only won one game or maybe two in the playoffs, but he's got some more experience now. I feel like this could be a year. The AFC's unfolding pretty well, where he's probably
Or they could be fraudulent.
they could be fraudulent. They could be, but I feel like the Chiefs aren't what the Chiefs usually are.
No, their offense is not at all what
The
it usually is.
the Jets don't count. The Chargers probably aren't even going to make the playoffs. The Dolphins,
Isn't that crazy? No changes.
yeah. The Bills are 500 or a game above it. They're battling for the playoffs. Like,
Hey, Shane Boyden. Fuck the Chargers.
fuck the Chargers. The Bengals, Joe Burrow's sleeping for the year. It's
Yeah, night.
open. It's open.
Night. Put the Tigers to sleep. That's unbelievable. Joe Burrow's wrist. Crazy, man. Right when he couldn't throw, I was like,
It's over.
that could be trouble.
Yeah.
Because wrists are, I mean, like, it's different if it's not the throwing hand,
hmm
but it's the throwing hand. So that's everything to these guys. So you really can't mess with the wrist like at all. Like, he needs the surgery. That's it. You got to get the surgery. It's not something that you could just hold off on um
Yeah.
until like the end of the season. Like, no, this is how you make your 50 million a year, you know?
Yeah. And folks, if you don't know, you really kind of need a wrist to throw in football. You kind of throw like that. So the wrist it's quite an important part of the
Slingers.
body for Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Two
But
is
yeah,
him.
the Bills are kind of like average right now.
The
It's
Bills are
opening
just
up.
inconsistent. You know, the Bills are a team that everyone's like, oh, the Bills suck, yada. They don't suck. They can win the Super Bowl. They just have to be more consistent. The talent is all there.
I think the Bills and Josh Allen, for that matter, are the same they've always been, which is inconsistent. Like Josh Allen at his peak is
Incorrect, brother.
the best quarterback in the league.
Dude,
Hold on.
the Bills have not been
Hold on.
inconsistent in previous years.
They've been inconsistent, but they've had a top 5 defense to bail them out. Like there were a lot of games over the past probably 3-4 years that they probably shouldn't have won, but they won
Josh
because of
Allen.
the defense.
Josh Allen to Stephon Diggs has been going on
Elite.
for quite a while now,
Elite.
and they've always been consistent. That Bills offense has always been legendary for the last 3 years. So,
No, they've always been inconsistent. They go on runs
mm-mm,
where they're just not that good, then they bounce back. It's
mm-mm.
kind of just how they've been. But
Bro,
without
the last like 3 seasons they've had like 12-win years.
no,
That's
but
not
but
inconsistent.
as a team they play inconsistently. They don't like the Chiefs are a good example. The Chiefs, their hot their highs are high, but their lows aren't that low. For the Bills, for years now, and it's mostly because of how Josh Allen plays, is they'll have high highs where him and the Bills play like the best in the league, and then lows where they lose to teams like the Patriots that they just shouldn't lose to.
Yeah, facts. They lost to the Pats, the Jets.
Yeah,
Bad wins for them. I mean, bad L's for them.
exactly.
Great wins for the Dolphins. Two divisionals right there.
It's big.
What I want to know is how the Niners lost 3 games in a row out of nowhere. What the fuck is that?
Injuries. Injuries.
Dude, still, I mean, this
They
team
had
is like,
they had a lot. They shouldn't have lost all three, but they had a lot of injuries, offense and defense, and it also just happened to be like Purdy's worst stretch of his short career. That's how
y-
they lost.
yeah, Purdy is um him, plain and
Probably, yeah,
simple.
yeah. He's him in San Francisco. I do not think he'd be able to do this anywhere else.
I disagree. I think Brock Purdy is a great quarterback. Um, he throws some great passes out there.
He's good.
Uh,
He's good, but he wouldn't be
yeah, the Niners have
top
a
of the
good,
league.
have a great offense built around him, but still, I think he'd be good wherever he goes.
I think he'd be okay
He's a
wherever he
winner.
goes. Like if he was on, I don't want to say a team like the Giants with zero weapons, but like a team
Yo,
like
bring this up.
a team like the Bills. I don't think he'd be that good in Buffalo. I think he'd be okay.
A team like the Bills,
Let's go back to the Bills.
with Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis,
Mid.
a very highly drafted tight end in Kincaid.
He's okay right now. He's going to be really good, but tight ends rarely are game changers as rookies. They need time to develop into the league. Kincaid's been good. He's been really good for a rookie. Laporta is like that doesn't happen every year. Even like Kyle Pitts, for example, like best prospect of all time.
Is Laporta a rookie right now?
Yeah, yeah.
That's ideal. You know, he's one of the top receivers in the league for receptions right now.
He's been really good. But like,
He's consistent.
yeah, he's been a little slower the past few weeks, but overall, still a very good rookie season.
Yeah, they're just like, you know what? Hawkinson, see ya.
John Laporta.
Laparty. Let's
Yeah,
let's make your career now, buddy.
it's even more impressive, honestly, because that
It's the
offense
Detroit
has
Lions.
yeah, and they have Amon Ra, they have Gibbs, they have Monty, they have players that require touches, looks, targets,
Correct, and
and he's
now
still
adding
leading.
Jamison Williams as well into the
Yeah,
mix.
like he's
An
still leading.
absolute loser of a human being, but he tore his ACL, missed the first year of his NFL career. Then he proceeds to get caught betting on games like a moron.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be any. I feel like he's gonna be a good wide receiver too in the NFL. He has the talent for sure, but I don't know. I feel like this deep into his career, it's only a year and a half, but like
This deep.
it's just been so rocky so far that I feel like he's never gonna become like the guy.
Yeah, well, I think as long as Amon Ra is there, he just can't be the guy.
He's honestly
Because
so
Amon
good.
Ra became the guy, and now that offense is going to be drawn up with Amon Ra as WR1. Like Jamison
He's
Williams, unfortunately, yeah, he was. I'm pretty sure he was the first receiver to go out of his draft, and
what draft was he in?
um,
It was the year after
it was after.
Javante.
Yeah, it was after Waddle and Smith.
So who was in that class? I feel like he was the first receiver taken.
I'm pretty sure he was. And
Waddle Smith Chase was the same year, right?
yes,
That's insane.
crazy,
Um, yeah,
crazy.
yeah, because that I want to say it was like a slower year for receivers. Now I want to Google it because I'm interested in who's in that class.
Yeah, you know, I was so like the year before, or maybe 2 years before, when CD got drafted, we were one pick away from CD Lamb, and I was like, no,
He's so good.
that is unreal.
So this was the 2021 draft.
Yes,
I don't have
yeah,
service in this phone.
yeah, yeah. Burrow to Hertz and Herbert were the 19 draft. So this is going to be then Waddle was 20.
Yeah,
So that was 21.
yeah. I have no service here,
Oh, that's
so
unfortunate.
I can't look at the draft
Well,
class. But
Jameson Williams, guess what? Go fuck yourself.
yeah, fuck Jameson
Enjoy
Williams.
being WR2, you born loser. The
Dude,
Lions are born losers.
this is the first time they were 8-2 since the 1960s.
The Lions have only 2 losses right now,
Yeah,
but they proved fraudulent the other day, almost losing to the Bears. They're just
yeah,
lucky that our born losers of the week are the Chicago Bears, led by Justin Fields and that god awful offense.
yeah. Offense balled.
Hey, listen, man. You could say they balled, but they're losers.
They balled, but
The
they are
defense
losers.
sucks too. The defense has like
The
talented players and whatnot,
honestly, the
and
defense has been playing very well
your
recently.
buddy who's leading the league in tackles. Um, he's only leading the league in tackles because he's on the field 24/7.
It's
Because
typically not
Justin
how it works.
Fields can't keep the offense on the field.
Justin Fields hasn't played football in 5 weeks.
Justin Fields is terrible.
Let's talk about Tua. Big game Tua.
It's time to bring in Special Agent Zero for the rest of the year.
Special Agent 17. But let's talk about
Special
big game
Agent.
Tua real quick. If you want to bring up our quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Fun,
Tua is him, bro.
fun fact for the people. The Dolphins haven't beat a winning team in about a year and a half.
Hey, fun fact for the people: 7-3. We have more wins this year than the Bears have last year and this year
Well, we know the Bears suck,
combined.
but the Dolphins are alleged Super Bowl contenders. Let's go through their
Dude,
7
the
wins this
Bears are
year.
just really, really
Let's
bad.
go through their 7 wins.
Okay,
The
we're running through rosters
the
right now.
Aiden O'Connell led Raiders, who they barely beat.
With a phenomenal defense, but
They do not have a phenomenal defense.
fins up. Yes, they do, bro. The Raiders are in every single
Middle
game
of
that
the
they
pack.
play.
Middle of the
Bro,
pack.
they are involved in every single game that they play. And Crosby is built different. The guy is there
He's a G.
in your face every single play. He's
He's
one
a
of
G.
those players that just automatically bring the defensive level
He's
up a
amazing.
notch.
You guys barely scratched by the Aiden O'Connell led Raiders. You beat the Patriots
W.
twice, which is probably a bottom 3 team in the league.
W. All I gotta say.
You beat who else was it?
Mac Jones is terrible.
We got 3.
Too.
Who else? Oh, you beat the Broncos when they were the worst team in the
70
league.
points. Okay, 70 points.
Hold on.
Yeah, are you really gonna down talk
No,
a 70
we're
point
talking
outing?
we're talking about
You could
big
say
game Tua
you
here.
could say the
We're-
Broncos were a different team at the time, but it doesn't even
They were
matter
no.
because
As I said on the
who
last
puts up
podcast,
70?
that was a statement win. However, this does not stray away from the topic of big game Tua, which is
Tua
trash.
is him.
So we got the Broncos, the Patriots twice, and the Aiden O'Connell Raiders. Who else did you beat? Oh, can't forget the worst team in the league, the Panthers.
Wrecked them.
So
That was a W. I
right
was
now
at
we're
that
just
game.
looking at Horrible, horrible teams.
I was at the
Oh,
Pats home game
another
too.
bottom 3 team, the New York Giants. That's 6-0
Oh my,
wins.
that was easy. That was a cleanup.
And who's the 7th? Oh, this
The
was probably the best team they beat,
JGs.
were the 4-6 Chargers. That was a great
The
game. That was a shootout.
JGs. Really? What about the 5-5 Broncos, bro?
They were 0-2 when you played them and were absolutely horrific.
Oh my God.
They were the worst team
Doesn't
in the NFL.
doesn't mean they're not still horrific. Yo,
They're
you know
better
what?
now.
You know what's changed with the Broncos though is their defense. Their offense has not gotten better.
Yeah.
Their defense has gotten better.
Sean
They
Payton's finally
in the
doing his thing
first
over there.
in the first 5 games of the season, they were allowing 36 points a game.
Insane.
Since then, they're averaging allowing 13 points per
Yeah.
game.
Big turnaround.
That is all defense because I mean, bro, it's not like they're running away from people. But like back to Justin Fields, the guy's a born loser. He can't close out
Hey.
games.
This
He's
is
proven to not close out games.
okay.
Like
This
plain and simple.
Eric's
How
talking
many
as if
game-winning
I
drives
care.
has he lost?
The difference here is I've come to terms with Justin Fields. You
Yeah,
still think
yeah,
Tua is him.
yeah. Now you have. Why? Because he's a born loser. All he does is lose games.
And all Tua
God,
does,
I wish I had a water right now, Lish.
And all Tua does
Why
is
didn't I
lose
bring
big
a freaking
games.
water over here?
When was the last big game he won?
Dude,
Remember
don't even have to name it, buddy.
Remember
Don't
he
even have to
went.
name it. He's a leading candidate for MVP right now. He's
Remember
top
he went
3.
0-4 last year in the most
He
important
is
stretch
him.
of the season, and played like dog water.
Listen,
Do
bud.
you remember that?
Listen, bud.
'Cause I do. Do you remember the 3 games
Listen,
this
bud.
year against about 500
Tua
teams? How
is
he
him.
played? Horrid.
Tua is him. The Dolphins' offense runs through that man, and he is a legend.
Yes, a legend versus bottom 5 teams.
Tyreek Hill.
Once he plays
Dog.
even a mediocre defense like the Raiders,
Dog.
he looks like a mid-tier
Jalen
quarterback.
Waddle. Dog.
Waddle and Hill are dogs. Tua is not that guy.
Dude, just like Raheem the Dream is definitely fucking shit up. He's an animal, but he has to clean up the fumbles. This man,
does.
like my guy, just hold on to the motherfucker. That's it.
Notice how he's
That's it.
ignoring big game Tua because he
Dude,
doesn't exist. He's
dude,
not real.
Dude, big
Fairy
game,
dust.
big game Tua, bud.
Fairy dust.
Big game Tua is him. Just watch, bro.
I've been watching.
Well, yeah. Watch how we close out this season, bud.
In his last 7,
We're not going to lose a game the rest of the year.
in his last 7 big
We
games.
are taking the AFC. We are going to the AFC Championship. We are winning that. We are going to the Super Bowl. And I am bringing Lana with me.
In Tua's last 7 games against 500 or above 500 teams, he is 0-7. 0-7, folks. Just hate to break it to you, the playoffs
Listen,
aren't filled
buddy.
with the Panthers and the Giants and the Patriots. They won't be there.
Listen, buddy.
So Tua will be a mid-tier quarterback come playoff time.
Listen. We still
0-7.
got 3 big teams left on our road to success, and that is
Ravens, Bills, Cowboys.
Ravens, Bills, Cowboys. We got
The
those 3
Fraud
big games.
Bowl.
We have
The
got
Fraud Bowl. Cowboys,
Excuse
Dolphins,
me.
folks.
We have got to beat the Bills, though.
You need to go 2-1 in that stretch. You need to.
No, we have to go 3-0.
3-0 would be ideal.
3-0 is big. Who do the Bills play this week? I feel like it's somebody good.
Ravens.
Oh
It's a big
my
game.
goodness!
No, Chargers play the Ravens.
Damn it!
Bills. I'm not
I
sure.
was gonna say that's a win-win right there for the Dolphins. Like, whatever, one of them gets a dub, but at least one of them loses. My goodness gracious!
Yeah. We'll see about big game Tua because right now it's horrendous. It's truly horrendous.
Yeah, big game 2 is him. So,
No.
last night
Hate to break
I
it
was
to you.
watching the premiere of Hard Knocks, in-season Hard Knocks for the Miami Dolphins, and there's a very, very funny moment. Tyreek Hill's newlywed wife. That's right, folks. In case you didn't know, he got married on the off week. Uh, what is that, 2 weeks ago. So, Buddy got married, and his newlywed threw her arms up in the air when like a big play was made, and this guy with these nachos behind her is sitting there. He goes to move the nachos out of the way, and her hand gets caught up in the nachos, and cheese just falls all over her head, and all the nachos fall all over Tyreek's mom. It was golden.
That's
I was like,
incredible.
you got to be kidding me, bro. Of course they're filming this
That
right
is
now. That is
incredible.
hilarious.
I'm
Tyreek Hill's mom, what a woman. Proud mother, proud mother. Rightfully so.
How do you feel overall about Hard Knocks?
Hard Knocks? I like Hard Knocks. I think it's a really dope show that gives you a real deal look
I
into uh like the real like everyday practice life and game day life of these teams. Like they're in there. They know everything you do every step of the way.
That's good. That was a good explanation, Eric. The crowd loved it.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you,
I
crowd.
like
Thank you,
I
crowd.
like the in season.
Oh my god,
Oh,
dude, they won't stop.
that one was
They
funny.
won't stop. Thank you. All right, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. All right,
Um,
all right, all right.
I like the in season Hard Knocks a lot. I don't like the preseason one just because it's like the same thing every year with a different coach and different players.
Yeah, this year was kind of interesting though because of the whole Rodgers to
Yeah,
the Jets situation.
I didn't
So it
like
was different.
I didn't like that they weren't showing people getting cut and everything because that's kind of like it's training camp. Like that's what happens. And they didn't want to like put anyone on blast for getting cut because
Oh
obviously that's like a
yeah,
tough
bro. I
thing.
didn't even notice that.
Yeah, they didn't do cuts.
That's sus. Nah, see, that's suspect.
Yeah.
Get your
I
shit
mean, I
together,
get
Hard
it.
Knocks.
Like that's like a life changing thing for those people getting cut, but like that's Hard Knocks. It's literally called Hard Knocks.
Yeah, bro, like
But I like
fucking
the in
cut the
season
dude.
one. I like
Bro,
the in
like
season one.
it's like, oh no, instead of making your bare minimum of $750,000 a year, you have to go find a normal people job. So fucking sad.
Yeah,
So sad.
feel
Nah,
bad
bro,
for
most of these
Nat Wright.
guys though, they're all bouncing around the practice squads and
Yeah.
shit. Like they're all still making their money.
Do you know it was a good Hard Knocks? The Raiders won a few years ago with Gruden. It was the one with where Waller came back.
Mm,
It was like before it was the season or the training camp before the season Waller became Waller. He was just like some guy on the show. And they
correct.
focused on him a lot because he had like the
A
addictions and
troubled
everything.
past,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That was a really good Hard Knocks.
Yeah, you know, I actually had a Darren Waller in fantasy that year. That was the year that my fantasy team was arguably the greatest fantasy team ever put together. From top to bottom of my entire roster, I had at least every single person in my lineup, and even some on my bench, were top five in their position, bare minimum top five that year in their position.
That was the year when Kamara scored 6 touchdowns in the fantasy final.
Yes,
And
yeah.
Mr. West had Kamara.
Yeah. It was
We
it was a easy run to the finals for me that year.
to make it even better, me and him were watching that week of football together because we were both in the fantasy finals and we both won.
Big, big dubs.
Big vibes.
Big dubs. That was actually my first ever and only fantasy chip. Felt really good. It looks like that league I'm going to miss the playoffs this year, unfortunately. Um, and I'm making a strong push right now in our dynasty league,
You are, dude. That league's really close.
bro.
It's really close.
But my team is not deep at all, and I just took 2 injuries this week.
Who got hurt?
Um, Michael Thomas and Amari Cooper.
Ooh. Plus, Amari's got Dorian Thompson Robinson thrown to him, so that's not a good sign.
Yeah, you know what though? With the 2 games that Thompson Robinson was in earlier, or it might have been one, whatever, however many games it
Yeah,
was.
too.
I'm pretty sure it was two. Amari had major outings, both of them,
Honestly, that makes sense. That happens when
because it's
like
like the
shit
only
quarter.
receiver
Yeah,
that these guys trust.
yeah. It's
You
like
know,
he doesn't have the capability to like fully read a defense and go through
correct.
progressions, so
It's
he's just
like,
going to Amari.
yeah, it's like Peoples Jones, Amari Cooper.
It's like, remember when Chad Henne came in for Mahomes in the playoffs that one year and was just ripping it to Reek and Kelsey? Like they played better with Mahomes off the field because Henne only could look at them.
Oh yeah, bro. Chad Henne is him. We've known this since he's been a Miami Dolphin back in the day. I genuinely
Give it up.
couldn't believe it.
Give it up for Chad Henne.
I
Folks.
genuinely couldn't believe that Chad Henne was still in the league.
He
You know,
just retired this offseason.
yeah. You know what's like hilarious is the
two-time
fact,
Super Bowl
yeah,
champion.
that I got an ESPN notification that said 2-time Super Bowl champ retires.
And it's Chad Henne.
I near lost my shit when I saw that it was Chad Henne. I was like, who the fuck is a 2-time Super Bowl champ retiring right now?
Mahomes is like the only one in the league. Big Ben, but that was like 2 years ago or 3
Yeah,
years ago.
no. Is Patty what current quarterback has the most
Patty.
Super Bowls?
Patty.
Patrick with 2.
Stafford's got 1. Brady's retired. That's it. No one else has.
Rodgers has 1.
Rodgers has 1. Ben had 2. Retired.
Wow, Tua is after the season. After next season, he's going to be tied with Patrick. Isn't that crazy?
After next season, he's going to be tied with many quarterbacks with 0. Big game Tua, folks.
Yo, just don't sleep, bro. I'm telling you.
I hope they win this
I'm
year.
telling
I
you,
have a
this
future on
is
them.
this is the roster. This
I
is the
have
team.
25 to win like $600 or something on the Dolphins. So they better step it the fuck up.
Yeah, you know what though? The thing is, there's like literally 10 teams that can take this Super Bowl. Nobody knows who's going to take it.
Yeah.
You really you have the Chiefs, the Dolphins, the Bills, the Ravens, the Jaguars you can throw in the mix. The Broncos are on the rise. You
Bills.
have, I said Bills.
You did.
You
Eagles.
have Eagles, Niners,
Cowboys.
Cowboys. You
Bears.
have. I'm
Don't
fucking
sleep,
dead.
kid. We're gonna go-
Cowboys. Who else is good over there?
NFC's kind of weak. I mean,
Dude,
Seahawks.
Don't
maybe,
sleep
probably
on
not.
Jashu with Dabes. Nah, I don't think the Seahawks
Yeah, I
could
don't
do
think
it.
so. Vikings. I mean, they've been
Don't
balling
sleep
recently.
on Dabes. The guy takes dabs for a living, and his name is Jashu.
That he does. That he does.
He's a beast, you know? He's just a full-fledged animal. And he's just built different. That's all, buddy. What? What's going on, bud?
I gotta take a shit.
That is fucking
I was
hilarious.
looking for the pause button.
Just in case everybody is wondering, he just tried to pause it.
I gotta take a shit.
Yeah, hey, you know what? On that note, though, I think we had a great conversation. Good conversation. You go take your shit, Andrew. Thank you so much for showing up today.
It's good being on
Absolute
here.
gold.
Good
It
being
was
on
it was
here.
good. It was good getting beefy with you, brother. You know,
Always
good
getting beefy.
folks. What song are we gonna end it on today? Oh my, what song? This one. This one.
The classic.